We're back. This is Where You Live with Gene and Tony. We're broadcasting from the Concierge Landscape Studios, and we're brought to you by Extreme Exteriors. It's time now for a message from the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association. The MHA Minute is brought to you by Pest Control Services. When you need an exterminator, you need someone reliable and effective. Give Greg Keener a call at Pest Control Services, 952-894-9748. Pest Control Services is a proud member of Angie's List, and it's a member of the Minnesota Multi-Housing Association. Call Pest Control Services 952-894-9748 and tell Greg that Gene and Tony sent you.
When you rent out your home, you automatically become a small business owner and are subject to all kinds of rules and regulations. Fair housing laws, rental licensing, CRPs, lead paint, radon, carbon dioxide, just to name a few. As someone who provides rental housing, you'll have to learn more about your community, your city council, and your law enforcement agencies than you ever imagined. But if you properly manage your business, you'll also become an important and positive partner in the community. The Minnesota Multi-Housing Association is the most comprehensive resource you'll find for everything you need to help you successfully manage your rental business. Visit mmha.com. That's two M's, mmha.com. Look around the website, download the free guide to successful property management, download the free brochure about the eviction process, and learn about the many ways you can turn your small business into a good business.
Well, welcome back, folks. We are talking about a new bill that was introduced this last week at the Minnesota Legislature. Senate File 1521, the House Companion Bill 1886. Senate File is a bill introduced by Senators Dibble, Hayden, Marty, Higgins, and Tomasani. And there are two parts to this bill. The first, we talked about this last segment about dealing with foreclosures and tenants' rights. And we came to the agreement that we're talking about something that really was basically, Tony, unnecessary legislature.
I would say 75% of it is already in place.
Already in place. So what is it that they're really trying to correct?
What landlords do with tenants. Yep.
The other part, though, that I think is interesting, and I think this piece has some very far-reaching effects here if it were to take place. And that is in the second half of this Senate File 1582, Foreclosure Moratorium. It begins by saying there is an emergency that is declared to exist. The legislature declares that a public economic emergency exists in the state due to the increase in foreclosure rates. The legislature declares that these conditions have created a housing emergency that justifies the legislation be created for a moratorium on mortgage foreclosures, and that moratorium they would like to see would be for a period of 2 years. And what they're saying is that what every person should have the right if they're being foreclosed upon, it says here a little bit further, is that the borrower shall be entitled to a stay in the foreclosure process and remain in possession of their premises by serving a notice of a right to stay upon the mortgage holder. So basically, they're saying, I'm not paying, I'm not making good on my end of the bargain here. You want to take the property back, I can say to the mortgage company, nope, you can't do it.
I'm delivering this stay to you.
Giving you a notice, and you can't touch me for 2 years.
And you know what? It seems that you can deliver this stay after the sheriff's sale because it says it's effective on the mortgagee or on the holder of the certificate if some other private party purchases that home at the sheriff's sale. So this is after the whole shebang. Yeah. When you're in the redemption period, you can deliver this notice of stay and say, sorry, nope, Minnesota says I can stay for 2 years.
Yeah, not even right away. You're right. It seems like they can kind of ride things a little bit and kind of play out some more time, because we know that right of redemption is at least a 6-month period. Once the sheriff's sale starts. They could go to, day 179, almost to the end, and then they give this stay. and
Right.
that would
Right.
create this moratorium that begins then.
Now, it does say that the stay shall continue in effect for a period ending 2 years from the effective date of this bill, should this bill be enacted, or until June 30th, 2014, whichever occurs later.
Okay, so
there is an end date to
there
this.
is a sunset period, and I guess the only thing that's good about bad legislation is something that has a sunset period.
We're glad that they did that.
So I will admit publicly there's a part of this bill that I like. And
Okay.
and that is the end of it.
that has an end date. So
Yeah.
you do think this is negative. It's going to have a negative
Oh,
impact.
I think it's going to have a huge impact. First of all, for someone who is going to a sheriff's sale, we're talking about someone now who is trying to be a help in this process of getting foreclosures turned around. Because if there's a property that nobody wants or that people can't afford, you want to get someone in there who can afford it
Right.
and who is going to take care of it.
Right.
And so if you put this kind of prohibition for a couple years on someone who is going to be purchasing that certificate at a sheriff's sale, they're now going to not want to purchase it.
Sure, it's really going to discourage the sale of that property
What
to
yeah,
a responsible person
is it going
because
to do to the
they're not
sale?
going to stand around for 2 years waiting to take possession.
I mean, how would you like to know that if that's your business, and that is for a lot of people
Yeah.
with property management, acquiring property, turning around and selling it, and if they don't, and if they can't do anything for 2 years, that puts a big dent on the old plan of action here.
Yeah, yeah. It's going to stop the market correction that's already taken place.
Yeah.
How many foreclosures, or what's the percentage?
Well,
do you have time to quote that?
No, there's so much to cover here.
All right.
I think what we need to do is take a break. But when we come back at the beginning of the next hour, we're going to go on in further detail with why we think that this foreclosure moratorium is just a bad idea. So don't go away. There's a whole nother hour of Where You Live with Gene and Tony after these messages.
Don't you know to be loved?